So, for my rear axle that I got, it came with these hubs. The spline count is like 24 or something. Can't find 3-lug hubs that the splines will mate to on the rear axle. So I'm just going to make some little adapter things to fit on these. These are front wheels, but they all have the same lug pattern as the rears. So this thing was pretty close to right size. Just drew out 2 circles on this aluminum. This will fit inside nicely. Then I'll just have to machine a small pocket for the aluminum to pop over that, and then a hole in the middle. I think it'll be an okay adapter. We'll see.
Three hours later.
Well, I ran into a little problem over at the bandsaw. Not quite enough reach, so I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. There's my hands. You know what?
5 hours later.
Well, I got tired of trying to grind those, so I got pretty close. Center punched them. I'll drill a hole so I could pop her in here, and then just use this to get rid of all the rest of it. Come on, don't make me clean it out again. There. Yeesh. That made a mess. Thing throws chips everywhere. So here's my setup. Got this guy in here. I had to chop off a little bit more because I couldn't quite make it out far enough with the little nubbin. Unfortunately, my little chuck couldn't fit both on at once. That would have been nice just to do it both. But I'll see how it goes. Long way to go. See how that's going. Alright, just about there. Keep going a little bit. Doesn't have to be exactly 5. Don't care really if it matches or not. Oh. Oh. Oh! Only perfect, that's all. So I got to get the bolt pattern from here to here. That was pretty close, but I want it to be perfect, so I'm gonna just turn this guy fits in there perfectly, and then I'm just gonna make a little tip, and then I'll use that as a punch, get it exactly centered. I missed. This is a lot easier than trying to part on my lathe. So here's what I've got so far on my little 4-lug hub to 3-lug wheel adapter. So I want to use these wheels on the rear, but the axle that I bought came with these rear hubs. Funny spline count on them. So this boss here fits into the hole in the center to line it up, and then on my adapter piece, this bore here matches nicely onto this machined surface that was on the hub, so it should be pretty concentric, should spin at least as good as it should have. And then I just got to drill some holes there, tap it. I'll have to thread into the aluminum, which I don't love, but I wanted this to stay as light as possible, which is why I'm using that, not steel. Also on my little adapter thing here, I just turn these little spacers in here so that when I'm clamping, it's not bending the aluminum at all. See those little guys? They're not big, they're like butter knife. Yeah, that was like just pushing the metal out of the way. Yeah, it's like a Harbor Freight drill. My good drills are out of the shed. That's starting to really piss me off. This piece of junk. So those will be for the wheels, and then these four are for the hub. Spaced out enough, I think shouldn't be any problems, but see. Touch it. Eh? Eh? There. Ugh. He doesn't even protrude anymore. My plate is all I needed to convert 3-lug wheel to this 4-lug hub that came with my axle. So really all you do, I made these just spacers. They're all 200 thou. Put them in here. And this fits right over this boss here. That's what aligns this plate with the axle, keeping it concentric. That pops on. And I got these guys, just thread up through, go through those spacers, and they'll clamp down this plate. spacers are just so there's no bending or flopping this aluminum. Oh, I dropped one. So, got all these guys on. Just tighten them a little. Alright, so now we got this. It's just the hub with that aluminum disc bolted to it. Used aluminum instead of steel because I was trying to keep the weight down. That's why I didn't want to use 4-lug wheels. Now, take this guy. Can you see in there? No, I'll raise it. And we'll put this feller in here. And then that boss fits perfectly inside this little center section. It even holds itself in. A lot tighter than the Chinese factory made it. We got these guys. Cut these with a grinder so the threads are all jacked, but maybe this one. Yeah, and that's locked in. So the wheel is concentric with the axle. There's no way for it to get bumped out. The aluminum really isn't holding all that much weight. Like the thin aluminum here, I think it's all just obviously all on that boss, and then that's going right onto the steel. So I'm hoping that's okay. I mean, it only has to take 8 horsepower twisting forces, which that can for sure do. Hopefully the bouncing around doesn't mangle it, but I'm pretty confident that'll work. Of plate aluminum to make this adapter. I was looking online, guys were saying they were spending forever trying to find this spline pattern for with a 3-lug wheel, and people couldn't find it anywhere, so I figured I'd just make my own.